More on this. Joining us now, Republican Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz, a member of the House Oversight Committee who was at today's hearing. Congressman, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It's got to be awfully frustrating to drag these government employees up before your committee and then have them not talk. He already admitted he's guilty, and yet he will not talk to you about what the problems were and how this might not be repeated at some point during the future.
Well, as my colleague Trey Gowdy out of South Carolina pointed out, this gentleman has pled guilty, has a reduction in his sentence because he says he's cooperating with the federal officials, and yet he comes before the United States Congress, pleads the fifth, and won't tell us a word. And what's so just downright wrong and frustrating about this is it went on for years and years, Trace.
Yeah.
He was making over $200,000 a year. And guess what? When Gina McCarthy, whose responsibility it was to supervise this person, found out about it, do you think he got fired? No, he didn't. He got to retire a second time, and consequently, for the rest of his life, the taxpayers will pay his benefits.
And yeah, he was paid for 19 months after he retired. But here's the frustrating thing from the outside looking in, and you get a lot of mail about this. People are just thinking, how gullible are they over at the EPA when you believe this guy worked for the CIA for years and nobody ever made a phone call? Hey, does this guy work for you?
The Inspector General said it took him 1 week to figure this out, yet under Gina McCarthy's supervision, it took well over a year. And this guy was, I mean, he literally, it's like right out of that movie, you know, Catch Me If You Can, where you saw this. He said he had back problems, yet he rode his bike to work. And everybody knew this. He said he had to go overseas, to London, of course, and fly first class because of his poor back. And yet we paid, as a federal government, they paid that first class ticket, $1,000 a night hotel rooms. He got reimbursed for all of this.
Yeah, and I got 10 seconds left, Congressman, but it's got to be kind of a frustrating pattern. You've got the NSA, you've got the EPA, you've got the GS. I mean, the IRS, a lot of agencies have been called before your committee for doing a lot of wrong things.
In the Obama administration, nobody ever seems to get fired. Benghazi, the IRS, Lois Lerner, and now Mr. Beale at the EPA. What does it take to get fired around here? It's just wrong.
What? Yeah, why quit when you can retire and still get paid? Congressman Jason Chaffetz, sir, good of you to join us. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well,